Okay, finally. All right, everybody, welcome to the Touchline Pod episode 2. Today, many interesting topic to talk about. We're gonna try our best to summarize it, make it as interesting as we can, and get our points across as good as we can. You're free to argue. You're free to make sure you harm the other person with your points, destroy their feelings if you can,
Oh,
make them traumatized if you can. We've got Man U fans
sounds
on the
like
on the on the chat today again, but welcome.
yes.
So we're hoping today is going to be good. We're going to go quickly straight into it. We have very nice topics starting from Manchester City to Man U, Arsenal, and we'll see how much we can cover within that space of time. Mr. Michel, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy that Man City is slowing down, but not too happy because they're slowing down and I'm not catching up. So
Right.
double-edged sword feeling there.
Okay.
Uh,
How about you, Mr. Cass? Tunde, tell us how you doing.
I'm good. I'm good as usual. Optimistic. I hope things get better for Milan. Um,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and then I
We
pray Fonseca should succeed because he's beginning to play. He's beginning to behave like his senior Paoli that left. So, but it's okay.
all right. Well, Namdi's wearing AC Milan, so I'm really sure that that view would not be good for you because you keep recurring AC Milan, AC Milan, AC Milan. Namdi, how you doing, man?
In my rest kind of trust. That's what I'd
Okay.
say.
I think Chelsea fans are having some of the best time of their life now, but we'll see how it goes.
The best
early
time of your life
days,
is when you
early,
win. Is when you win the Champions League title. That's what
Right.
I'd
We don't
say.
early
we don't
days,
know we
early
don't know
days.
what it will look like because we're on the proper business end of the season now. So yeah, I think everybody will be really excited to see what the
This is
next
not the
11,
business. This
12
is not the
brings.
business end.
Well,
This is
it's
not the
not the
business end.
business
This
end
is
per se,
you
but
say you
we
can say
have
they're going
11 weeks
into
to we have
year
11
two.
games to play. So you can argue it's gonna be where we would know or where we separate pretenders and contenders.
As today says.
Good. All right. All right.
No, we
So
have to cite it a Harvard reference.
all right. Well, starting with Man City, what would be your take? What I'm gonna ask you guys one after the other, but what just give me in one sentence what you think is wrong and then explain it. Mr. Michel, let's go since you were excited to talk about Man City.
So my take on Man City is from a strictly a football watchers fans point of view, not extremely tactical. So the first thing is, I think the lack of squad depth in number is catching up with them. They actually have interchangeable players, which has been helping them cover things. When the second central midfielder is injured or is taking a rest, Bernardo Silva comes in there. When Mahrez is taking a rest back in the day, Bernardo Silva will go there. Then they play Gundogan in the central midfield. But right now, we have a situation where what's his name? Rodri is out. Back when they bought Rodri, they had Fernandinho there. Rodri was actually his understudy and substitute. So if Fernandinho was out, they put in Rodri. But now they have only Rodri. Rodri is out. They tried to put Kovacic there. He did a little bit, but not good enough. And now Kovacic is out. So there's nothing there. So once somebody gets injured, you don't have anybody to replace the person, which is why some of us felt like Guardiola was not excited or happy letting Alvarez go because he didn't actually get his second person. So if Alan gets injured, there's actually nobody to play
True,
that middle. So
true.
I think that is catching up with them on one side, and then the importance of Rodri, the way they play, is another thing. So since he's out, nobody to put in there. And I think might be time to freshen up the squad. Might be time
Right.
to freshen up the squad because when you look at the squad, is basically the same squad from 2 seasons ago.
Right. So
But
so you
Haaland is
think it's
coming.
time for rebuild?
Yeah, I think time
You
for a
think it's time
rebuild.
to rebuild? Right. Now on
Rebuild
that
and
scale,
actually get squad depth. So
good. On that scale of rebuild, if a layperson went to pass now and hear you speak, they would think Manchester United and Manchester City are on the same level. Do you want to clarify? Because you can use the word rebuild, but
this
you have to
this
separate because Manchester City will still, in my opinion, destroy many
this
teams, even
you
at their
see,
worst as they
this
stand.
we know right now that this is just out of spite.
Okay.
This
All
shot
right. Hold
this shot
hold
was
hold it
uncalled
there. No problem. We'll get there. Mr.
shot was
Tunde, tell
uncalled
me
for.
what's your goal with Man City? What do you think is wrong with Man City, and where do you see them going to? And I think the floor is going to be open for argument. So whilst Mr. Tunde makes his point, Mr. Namdi, you're free to really rebut or refute whatever he says. Go.
Um, I don't really have much to say with regards to Man City. I just think it's a normal downtime that every big team would have. It's not like they've
For
lost
5 games? 5
seven.
games.
See, the thing is, I won't say them losing to Sporting is a major surprise to me. Sporting has shown so far this season that they are ready to beat anybody. I'm telling you, there's hardly anything that will face Sporting under their former manager
True.
that would not like have a bite in the way their style of play is so dynamic. It's different. It looks like it's more of the press. Same thing that what's his name Alonso was doing with what
Yes, their players look
with
very hungry.
Leverkusen last
Hungry.
season.
Yeah.
They are very hungry. They are not the stars of the stars.
Yes. Yes.
They want to be on the big stage. They
Level-headed.
have the fighting
Yep.
spirit. Yeah, exactly. So,
Good.
and if you look at the team, you wouldn't say, oh, this is the person leading the team, or everybody is a leader as
Mm.
far as the team is concerned. So, I think that's the spirit that probably their manager has to bring into Man U. But I think most of the United players are big boys anyways.
We'll get to
We're
Man
not
U.
even on to Man
We'll
U now.
get to Man U.
So for Man City, I think they will pick up and they will bounce back. However, the reality is now telling on them. They need a standard centre back. All the likes of Akonji can work for a
True.
while when they have good
Very, very
covers
good point.
in the likes of Rodri. If Rodri can cover anybody, like that guy is so good. The way he marks him is like I tell people, is a higher version of Busquets. Is an higher version of Busquets. Busquets was doing the dirty job in Barcelona at that time, but then we never appreciated him. We thought he was, it was just he falls too easily. He does this, but then he was doing the dirty job. He does the cleanup, and that was what Rodri was doing. And that's the reason why I will continue to say Rodri deserved the world best. For whatever, I don't care whatever anybody wants to say. It's showing now that he really truly deserves it. He's no
Yeah,
longer
I,
at
this
the
is
team,
I
and then we can see everything happening.
I support you on that,
okay.
Mister. Wait one sec, Mister
Um,
Michel. We'll get it. Mister Namdi, do you think everything he said is correct? Do you have
um,
anything you want to challenge? What's your take on Man City?
So the analysis or the statistics say that Man City are generating the same kind of chances, but they're not converting,
Converting.
while they
Yep.
are
True.
conceding more chances or more higher quality
Absolutely.
chances. So
Yeah.
you
So
can
that.
say for a
Good
fact
angle.
that Rodri's absence does win things in the opponent's favor. However, the reality is that the difference between Man City last season and this season is that Man City are not converting their chances. There was an analysis that happened earlier this season, or yeah, it was earlier this season where they analyzed um Haaland's, like the positions Haaland was converting from. The positions that Haaland was converting bang 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 in the past 2 seasons. This season he wasn't converting from them. And it was as simple as a meter, a centimeter off, an extra touch. Just little things play a part in Man City's ability to finish their chances. Also, I think that for Tottenham in particular, the personnel was wrong. But in saying that, I mean, Rodri is the fulcrum of the team, and we the defenders often say defense is the foundation to a good attack. But you attacking minded teams think otherwise, and this is just evidence
Mm,
that having a strong fulcrum that you
absolutely.
can base your team structure around is more important to him.
Yeah. Well, before I let Michelle wrap up, I was just gonna say um two things Mr. Tunde said. I think Man City, they've been found out. Let me put it that way. You saw Arsenal, we went there, we exposed the formula. Sadly, we couldn't get the result. Now I have to chip Arsenal in because we literally made Man City look
Not
very ordinary. I
okay,
think
if you say so.
it
If
started
you
from
say
there.
so.
Yeah, their run since the Arsenal game has been very, very poor. So the defenders, it
You're
might
going
be
to take
high time.
credit.
Well, I
You're
will
going to
take
take
credit,
credit.
yes, because we showed
Well,
the lack of
if you
elasticity
if the only
in
trophy
Manchester
Arsenal will
City's
win the
back line. And
it's the only
then
trophy
what
Arsenal will win,
Namdi has
correct?
just said, what Mr. Namdi has just said, without that defense, they pretty much in football, you need something solid to move you from back to front. Good one,
Yeah.
good argument. If I don't know, Mr. Michel, it seems you just don't want to agree. All right, give us your point. Tell us
It's
what
not
you
that I'm
think is
not.
different.
No. I'm not. I'm agreeing with you. Pep has, like as you said, they've been found out on some level. But one thing that they found out, as Mtunde said, Rodri has been covering everybody. Like one very nonsense thing that Pep has done since he entered this team, he has not had a standard left back.
True.
How many? 9 years now. The best thing he got to a standard left back was Mendy.
Yes.
That was the best thing he got to, which who was injury prone before he entered Prison FC. But Rodri has still said Fernandinho, but the captain there.
Okay.
But, but as he said, like as Tunde said, so just pushing people. These are can you play left back today? Next tomorrow use Nathan Ake.
But they've been
The
playing
next
it
week
well, dude. They've been playing it well till
because
this
so
season.
that's why it's difficult. In all honesty, in as much as I don't like it because of the standard of football that I agree upon, which I miss. It's
Mm,
difficult now on this evidence to argue that Rodri is not worthy of that Ballon d'Or he won. It's extremely
okay.
difficult. I
sorry,
can tell you till
sorry,
next year.
sorry,
It's not
Michelle. Also, we are forgetting the fact that um,
that.
um, Lewis is not yet ready for the big stage.
Rico
He's
Lewis.
left.
Yeah.
I'm with you on
He's
that.
not ready.
But now
And
Lewis,
imagine, sorry, imagine it was playing in the midfield. This kind of space that opponents would have. The way Madison, it was obvious Madison was schooling them in the midfield
He ran them
in the
straight.
game
Yeah.
against Tottenham. And I've always said it. Madison is an underrated player. I like him. He's a good player. Aside his injury, he's a player I would want in my team. You understand? However, you don't. There's some space you don't give a player
certain
like
people,
Lewis in the team.
Madison.
You understand?
True.
Like
Yeah,
Madison, sorry, in the team.
yeah,
If
like
you give him
Madison.
that player, he will punish you. See, it's just a lower version. It's just a lower version of in an informed KDB. He knows how to drop the pass. He knows when to play the shot. He knows how
Henry,
to do. He's
Henry
a
feels
very
like
good
he's
player. So
Henry. Did you just
uh,
smell? Did you just smell doodoo?
Well, I don't know that comparison though. I can argue that,
no,
but
Uh,
no,
yeah,
no.
I'll
Okay.
give him because Madison is quite good. I actually
yeah,
wanted,
he
I
is.
was one of the people that
He is.
actually wanted Madison
All
above
these
Odegaard, but
Arsenal,
Just
all these
imagine.
Arsenal fans. You want everybody in your team. Like I said, one guy that wanted to buy
Sorry,
Ronaldinho and buy
Michelle.
Ronaldo.
Sorry,
look,
Michelle. Imagine the games, or try to watch the games that Madison didn't play for Tottenham this season, and see what the outcome of the games are. You will see how terrible the game they lost to Ipswich. He came in late in the game. He didn't start the game with them, and that was why I don't understand what they were doing. The whole, well, you will see the difference. His passes are actually top notch. We can argue this from now to Jesus comes
Oh,
back.
Madison is a
I've seen
fantastic player. Nobody's going to
his
argue with you.
quality. Is a
okay,
quality player.
all right. Well, it looks like based on consensus, we've agreed Manchester City has a problem.
They do.
They have
And
problems. They have
one of
problems.
those, one of those, if I can pick up from what everybody said, one of those problem is they need to possibly find replacement for players.
Yeah,
Their
squad depth.
formula is being found out gradually, and
I, I don't agree with the finding out of it.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't.
I don't
I
think they are found out yet.
it's the squad depth.
I just
The
think yeah.
squad depth.
squad depth. Okay, all right.
Man City
Speaking
can put
about
out
squad depth, sorry,
the
Mr.
second
Michel.
level.
Speaking about
Okay.
squad depth, our second topic. If you look at how Amorim played yesterday, now watching Sky News or one of them, one of the pundits said, I think Talksport, you could see his formula right from the first minute, but he clearly does not have the players to play on that scale.
Everybody knew that
Zanamdi,
is a problem.
from that game yesterday, 1-1, as Manchester United versus Ipswich, or Ipswich versus Manchester United, 1-1. What could you pick out as Amorim formula, and how do you see Manchester United as a club, including the squad and the management and the fans? But start with the squad. How do you see them adapting to his formula? So, two questions. Tell me what you thought his formula was, and then how do you see them adapting?
So I'm quite aware of his system. He plays with two eights behind one striker. Um, Manchester United doesn't have two eights. They don't have two eights in their team. Bruno Fernandes and somebody, and already everybody hates Bruno Fernandes. So what Amorim has is a lot of work on his hands. I'm being very blunt. He has a lot of work on his hands, but I understand. So the thing is, because I understand systems, and that's those three centre back systems. We worked with them a lot. I understand how difficult it is for you to adapt to it, and it's going to take time. I think it's going to take time for him to adapt the team to it, or it just becomes as disastrous as the ETH era, where
Mm,
they got all the players that they said fit into the ETH system, style and system, and they ended up with some awkward defensive counter pressing system that
we
still
don't even
makes
know
us.
what exactly he was
We don't
playing.
know.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
worked out sometimes. I'm not going to lie, but some other times it didn't, and that's
Um,
just the
um,
reality from my perspective.
Okay, Mr.
okay.
Michel, you want to challenge
The funny
or
thing, yeah,
answer the
no,
question?
I'm not challenging. There's nothing really to challenge. It's obvious that he doesn't have the right personnel, which
Before
um,
personnel, do you want, sorry to cut you short, do you want to tell us what you could pick out from the game in terms of his formula, his strategy?
okay. Oh, so funny thing is, I did not watch that game because of the time. I had some things that got me passed out basically when I was waiting for the match. I tried to watch the full match, but so I just found out before I tried to watch the match that it was 1-1, and it just killed my motivation to watch the match. After going about 17 minutes, and it looks like same old. From the first 17 minutes that I watched, Man U looks like okay, there's something they want to do, and suddenly they start retreating, and the other people come behind them.
Mm,
Then
mm. They came out
that's
very
what I saw
bold,
in
didn't they?
person.
Yep.
They came out, you know, and of course, the good thing that I like with Amorim, which I think is something he should keep at, is that he's starting with his system, even if he doesn't have the right players from the get go. He's drilling them on it. ETH, which I think might be a mistake he made, like he succumbed to the pressure early on. The first four games, he didn't have good results. And then he started playing counter attack football, which is where he now had problems with Ronaldo because Ronaldo could not fit him. And I saw that ETH was trying. Funny thing is, I saw ETH starting his system this season. The moment they start, the fullbacks are already flying. I
Yes.
don't know where they're flying
They
to.
played with
And
the
then the
new guy
moment they
from
lose the
Bayern
ball,
Munich. Yep.
Mazraoui, I love that
Yep.
guy. I think that's ETH's best signing. And then the moment Man U loses the ball, everybody's on them because the fullbacks are not there. Dalo is not there. Mazraoui is not there. You have two defenders. The opposition is coming down fine. Had it been ETH, in retrospect, they say hindsight is 2020. If he had started his system, drilling his system and stuck to his guns from the beginning, done fantastic drill, we would have seen a system. But
Okay.
not seeing a system first year, not seeing a system second year, third year is when you want to start a system, and then the results are not even coming with the system.
So
See that was it.
what?
So
Yeah, I like
with
what you said
Amorim,
because of how you've. Sorry
Amorim,
to cut you short. Okay, go on.
okay. Amorim is starting with his system. He has said it in his press conference. He has also made everybody understand it's going to take a lot of work. I was angry. I was angry that they gave him the appointment now because he couldn't have a preseason and get his players in. But in hindsight, I think it's good. It might be an advantage for him because Man U, ETH has set the bar so low that almost anything he does now will have a pass. He doesn't have a war chest, and he has a whole, like almost a whole 2 thirds of a season to work out his system, see the people that are coachable, people that he can convert. Somebody like Mason Mount can play it very well. I was under the impression that that is his original position. So you can actually be Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes playing there, see if that is coachable, that's going to work. If Mason Mount is going to be in the center with Ugarte, because that energy, that center needs legs to cover ground to win the balls for other people. So it gives him a whole season or 2 thirds of a season in ample time to get enough people on board. The ones that are not going to be, he flush them out during the summer transfer window and get people in for that. So that might be a good thing on his part. And he has
Okay.
charisma. I think the players want him. So I think it's going to work. It's
All
going to
right.
be difficult, but it's going to work.
Okay.
That's
Mr.
my take on
Tunde,
that. Yeah.
what do you think?
For me, I won't even be taking much of your time because I think it's too early to start coming
Yeah,
up
it's too
with,
early to
oh, he
judge.
feels it's good, he
So
will do it.
so you are you
Systems
saying
don't.
you could what system could you see in that game? What so Nsadanamdi said talked about his 2-8, which I think yeah he does based
Yeah,
on
it's too early.
Tottenham,
Yeah.
and then I know he plays three
At the
defenders,
back. Yeah.
yes, and then
Yeah.
two wingers. So we can see something brewing. We don't know if he's got the personality. We don't know if that formation is gonna work. Not a lot of coaches use five defenders in the Premier League, three and then two sidemen
Two
because
wing backs. Yeah.
two wing back because on the offense they are really good. But like you said, when Ten Hag tried to play it, I think this season, once those two are out, then you can tell, especially if the opposition have very good midfielders and then pacey strikers or pacey wingers, that
Wingers. Yeah.
formula is going to break. So just off the top of what you saw on that particular game or in that particular game, what system do you think he's going to try to implement? And then do you think Manchester United as a team will adapt, or it will just be another ETH Mourinho or Ralph Ragnick style?
So the reason why I said it's too early is if you need to prove a point, the match you need to prove a point is by playing very well against a team like Ipswich. If you cannot beat Ipswich convincingly, or you cannot
Explain
show
them.
a bit of walking against a team like Ipswich, I don't understand. What would you do against a team like Tottenham? And that's the reason why I said I want to give him time. I don't want to be judgmental or
Mm,
come to say,
okay.
oh, yes, we can see his style. Like you said, ETH did exactly the same. It didn't work. And then he had to retract back to the back four. However, if Michel in his village can see that he could have played uh, uh, Mount instead of Ganacho, or even put, because Eriksen is also a good passer of the ball and he doesn't have that much long to cover so many distance. Why not just push him in the front and then play another person to Pierre Casemiro in the midfield? If if you're scared, but like
Okay.
I said, I
Legs,
still don't want to
legs,
judge.
Legs,
legs. That's
very
why
good. Which
legs.
is
Yeah,
which legs? Very,
That's why I
very,
don't play
very,
Ah,
very
Ericsson
good.
there.
Ericsson and Casemiro legs.
Legs.
The thing, they are no
Okay.
Yeah.
legs. They don't have legs. Between both of them, they don't have legs. So you play
So the
Ugarte,
other
it's going to
side,
be Ugarte. We know it's going to be Ugarte in that midfield because we know that Ugarte is somebody that has some
Can
energy,
run.
has some
Yep.
legs.
Yep.
He can actually even take the foul and all whatnot. He break up play.
yeah,
But who
yeah.
do you pair with him to win the ball? Because those two people are going to be the ball winners. for the
But
others
then
to actually fly.
one of them has to know how to move with the ball. Two of them cannot just be ball winners. If you have
Absolutely.
to, there will be it will be like having too many carpenters in your midfield. You can't have too many carpenters. You must have one person who is a painter, who knows how to
Like
get the
Asante,
Chelsea
ball.
with Fernandez and um
Exactly, exactly.
Caicedo.
So
Casado,
once,
yes.
once one person wins the ball, I remember back then in Milan, once Gattuso wins the ball, even
Yeah,
Gattuso will never make any pass to the front. He's looking for Pelo. That is all he's looking for. If he doesn't get Pelo, he
true.
passes to Seedorf. So these are the things that you have to instill into the team, so that you know your role as a player. I'm not saying you can, as a DM, you cannot score,
Yeah,
CM, you cannot score. Yeah, you can score if the opportunity comes. However,
it's,
know that your basic role is get the ball and give it
his
to either
his
Ericsson or
post
give it
match
to.
conference. His post match conference, I think he mentioned something along those lines, like the players were thinking too much, and it's obvious they are thinking too much because they're not used to this system and what they're trying to do. And his lineup reflected the few people that didn't go international break that he worked with. So what we are seeing, of course, like it's a rough sketch, but I think he also underrated Ipswich because I'm suspecting that he had this mindset they had, which is if you should wait to play Ipswich. If he just comes from relegation, he should be able to outplay Ipswich.
I
Because I
thought so
don't
too.
think if
Yeah,
he was going
especially
to
in the
play
second half.
somebody good,
Yeah,
he will put Ericsson and Casemiro in that midfield. I don't think he would have done that if he was going to play a good team.
Play
Instead,
Tottenham
instead,
or Chelsea.
yes,
Yeah.
even Newcastle, I think he would have put Ugarte to start and then maybe later bring in Ericsson or Kobe Mainu or somebody. But I don't think he would have started those two because when I saw the lineup, I was like, I know Casemiro can break up play, but he can't actually run against someone to go bring the ball. He can try to draw the line, and that's as good as it goes. Once you get the ball over him, that's it. Because look at the goal they
right,
scored. They got the ball over. They got the ball over. What's it? Diallo. By the time Diallo tried to run to cover up, they finished doing what they're trying to do to bring the goal.
right. Okay, so we can
uh,
all agree there is
early
somewhat
days.
a formula
Early
going
days.
there. Well, okay, we'll
Yeah,
leave it at early days. But
early days.
okay, well, we'll see how that goes. We'll come back to that topic. Now, speaking about early
Arsenal
days, one
fans.
club that clearly isn't having early days and needing to win now will be Arteta's Arsenal. For those that saw the game yesterday, now I'll probably chip in this one. Yesterday was Arsenal's best game this season, or 2 days ago, sorry, because you could see the fluidity in the game, you could see the intent, you could see the balance in defense, you could see just the technicality from every player, starting from Saka to everyone. You could see that want to pretty much how we played last year, where we literally won the ball from before they crossed the midfield line. It was a very good display. I think what really tied and brought everybody to that point was one thing: Odegaard. He brings such calm to the game. He brings such calm to Arteta's formula. He makes Arsenal click. It's like, I think I spoke with Mr. I don't know if it's Mr. Tunde or someone else I was speaking with. Arsenal and Inter Milan. I was tired of that game. I was tired because we were never going to, if we had played 5 hours, we weren't going to score Inter Milan. Now, it was all about Inter Milan scoring Arsenal or we ending it as draw because Inter Milan, on the other hand, have very balanced team. I think Inter Milan are like, because I can argue Arsenal is the most balanced team in the EPL.
It's an
Inter Milan.
argument when you're not going to win.
So
Liverpool is more balanced.
Liverpool is more
Thank you.
balanced, really.
Yes, so because their system is really tight, and they have the personnel to be effective. I'm sorry, Arsenal should be the most complete team, but you guys have more
Dude.
injuries than the
Oh,
hospital, and
absolutely. Absolutely.
you're more
No, no, no,
inconsistent
no,
than
no, no, no.
Nicolas
I won't
Jackson
agree
last
to
season.
that. I won't agree with that because
I know you will
you could
not.
see
You're an Arsenal
for
fan.
last
Understandable,
season,
yeah.
we were the definition of consistent from January till the end of the season. Now you can. That's why I
That's
said
correct.
I
Yeah.
agree with external factors in the sense injuries has really depleted us. In fact,
Tunde was happy.
This game against Nottingham Forest was one of the first games in almost 10 games where we had almost everybody fit, apart from three players: Ben White, Tomiyasu, and Tierney. So it goes to show if we're talking about balance, Arsenal can make a claim as the most balanced team in the EPL. Now, that balance again ties on Odegaard. And as regarding EPL hopes, I don't know exactly where to stand, but I'm still very hopeful. I think I
I
think
just hope.
Liverpool are about to have their hardest run of the season. If you look at their form, their next couple
The
games, they
fixtures.
have Newcastle, they have Man City, they have Tottenham. I think so. We're going to see Liverpool, and I
If I was a
intentionally
Liverpool
watched.
fan, I won't be scared. I won't be
Right.
scared if I was a Liverpool
Well,
fan.
I intentionally watched Liverpool versus Southampton, and I can't say Liverpool are quote unquote the best team in England. Mr. Tunde, challenge. Tell me what you think about Arsenal, Odegaard,
So
and our
don't
hopes.
you so I'm happy for Arsenal. They have their rhythm is back. Odegaard was the missing link. I've always said it. Take Odegaard out, take Saka out. Arsenal looks almost
Everything.
powerless. They look like Bolton or
Toothless.
regular. They are toothless. So and that is my fear for Arsenal going forward. Injury is part of the game. Man City is
Thank you.
dealing with their own now, and then everybody is saying, "Oh, they've been found out. They are this, they are that." If the same should happen to what would be their fate, at least Man City still has some dead legs in the likes of Gundogan, that can still come in and do one or two. Even their first midfielder is down. Rodri, Kovacic, who is supposed to be a replacement, is also injured as well. So you can imagine they are dealing with two major calamities at the moment. However, Arsenal should learn from the fact that if Odegaard becomes injured again, that will be the end of the season for them. And they
True.
should try to do something in the January transfer window. They should try to get someone that can at least will be willing to sit on the bench and play as a deputy to Odegaard. Else, it will be because there are all these excuses of we completing blah, blah.
They
See,
have they have a
until you win a trophy, until you
they
start
have a deputy.
and
Okay.
I've said something and I'll
What
repeat it again. Arsenal needs a standard striker.
we do?
Osimhen is there now. And I think this is the best time to pounce on Osimhen and get him into your. You need somebody like that who will not play anything for 90 minutes. In the 92nd minute, he will just stretch that leg and touch that ball into the net. You need that kind of person. Kai Havertz is not that kind of person. Kai Havertz is still he likes to play a romantic kind of football where you still, you have to give him those ball where we turn his buttocks to the left and
Oh,
shoot and,
okay.
nah, So if anybody that wants to challenge for the title, you have to play like a title challenger. You cannot just come and they won't give you on a platter of gold. It's not going to come. It's not going to come that easy.
Oh yeah.
Things will come from every
Well,
angle.
Tunde will be the
Something might
authority on
not be
that.
against you.
One sec.
A lot of
So
things will be against you, but then you are playing against the hurdle. It's an hurdle for crying out loud. It's not
so
just a piece of cake where you just go pick it from another.
Okay.
that good point. Where do you see Arsenal um on the EPL train as regarding winning it?
Uh, the only uh, at every time that Arsenal have lost the EPL, they have been their own major
Doing.
enemy.
Yeah.
This season, they are not their only major enemy. They are part of their enemy. However, they have Liverpool and even Man City to contend with. Because see, Man City only needs to win the next 4 games, and all they lost 5, they lost 7, they won, lost 4-0, will be history.
Routine.
When Man City picks up,
Say
they will do it. They will play the next 14, 15 games unbeaten.
Okay.
not unbeaten,
Now,
That's
winning.
where trouble starts.
uh, Mr.
Winning.
Yeah,
Mr. Michel, you can't hold
Yes.
your. You. I know
Yes.
you want to talk on this, but
Yes.
I'm gonna hold you still because Mr. Namdi is going to give us a more rational take. I know he doesn't hate Arsenal. I know he's
What's
not
the
going to
point of
speak
rationality
against
here?
Arsenal. He's going to speak from a very, very rational, data centric, and
Oh,
clear point.
give me the
Mr. Namdi, give me your take on Odegaard, Arsenal, Ateta, and the EPL.
Um, Odegaard is crucial to the Arsenal plays. Already, we know that right hand channel, with two channels actually, he basically dominates it with Saka. Like he is the way he's able to receive and distribute balls in tight spaces allows Saka to do a lot of damage. Although Saka can do a lot of damage by himself, that is the fact. Now, having said that, however, there was a statement that was made here that said that Arsenal is usually the architect of their own misfortune. And I would just want to say that out of the last three seasons, this season included, this is the season where Arsenal has architectured their misfortune or architected whatever it is. They are
so
because they have been most inconsistent. Their signings have been based on dominating duels currently and not signing a striker was a bad idea. But having said that, for all intents and purposes, it's just Arsenal being Arsenal again. You know, almost getting there but never going all the way. See, I am not shading. I genuinely thought that Arsenal would win the league 2 seasons ago. And they just lost at the right they lost at the right
At
time.
the right
I
time.
thought they'll win last season. They lost at the right time. This season, they've just been doing rubbish on day one. So I think that Arsenal will challenge. But the thing is that Liverpool has they started extremely well from day one, and they don't have the same kind of high octane football that is bound to suck all the energy out
Mm,
of them by the time season ends. In fact, the way they are pressing, the way they coordinate, keeps them like is more likely to keep them fresh to challenge for on all title fronts that they're on. Arsenal does not have that luxury. In fact, I know why Arsenal. I know when I knew that Arsenal was going down. It was when Arsenal could not beat Bayern last season. I knew that Arsenal was done because Bayern was at their worst in 10 seasons, and
mhm,
Arsenal could not dominate that game. A team that was at their worst, that was being overrun by Bayern Leverkusen, easily dispatched Arsenal like it was another day at the park. And that is the Arsenal I know,
yes,
not French Arsenal.
it's just
And
another day at the
this season,
office.
however, just another day at the office. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you look at the Inter game and you hate it, but if you know Inter in Serie A, they're one of the most dominant teams with the ball. Their transition is intense. We think Guardiola ball is intense. Theirs is even more intense. The other day, I was listening to someone saying that Bastoni plays like a wing back. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, it
Dimarco
does.
is a left winger.
mhm.
That's how intense and how dynamic their football is. But they got to Arsenal. They knew that they had to get a win, and they got a win. Arsenal could do nothing, and I feel
Well,
like that is just the character of Arsenal. And again, this is not shade because as a Chelsea
Medi,
fan, we've had the
Medi,
ups and downs.
you
So
know
where
what?
you
So that's
where
all
do you
I have
I
to
give
see
him
say.
personal
Thank you.
pass to
Arsenal
heaven.
winning? One sec. Do you see Arsenal? Where do you see Arsenal win on that train of
They are
being
not winning
champions?
the league title.
They are not
Let's
winning.
end it
Very
there.
strong. Very
They are
very
not
strong.
winning the league title.
Very
They are not
very
winning
strong.
Champions League.
No shade.
Rinse
Very
repeat.
very strong. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Mr. Michelle, you can go on now. Give me a take
Okay,
on.
okay. See, you need to understand that I,
Mhm.
okay. In all honesty, I was happy last season with Arsenal playing well, but by the time Man City picked up, I knew that okay, Arsenal is just going to stumble at the right time, which they did. Little games you're supposed to win, Aston Villa, you Brighton, whatever. Now, this season, the problem that City is having right now is a problem that Arsenal has been having, which I thought was the reason they did not win the league since. They do not have squad depth and quality in squad depth. Once Odegaard is out, the best thing they could try was Trossard, who doesn't play what Odegaard plays, but he brings another dimension to that attacking midfield position when he's there. They don't have like an out and out striker. But Gabriel Jesus, with his pulling out, used to create space for Martinelli. As for Martinelli, Arsenal fans, I'm sorry to tell you, that guy has peaked. He's not going to improve. This is it. This Martinelli you're seeing, There is nothing else left in it. He's a
Nah,
road
come
runner.
on, hold on,
He's a road
hold on.
runner that can finish. No, listen, I'm being honest here. Listen, everybody has their capacity. Martinelli, from what I've seen, okay, tell me, you're a national fan. Look at Saka. When Saka started dominating the right wing, he could not touch the ball with his right foot. It was always cutting and, you know, cutting. But by the beginning of last season, he started actually going outside and bringing pullouts. Another
He was
dimension
scoring with his
is
right. He was
improving.
even scoring with his right. Yeah.
Started scoring with his right. Please, as an Arsenal fan, when Arsenal started this sudden title challenge, because it was sudden, when it started, I didn't actually
Mm,
think we were going to start. Yeah, it was. Now, what has been the improvement you've seen from Martinelli between 2 seasons ago and this season? One, he can finish. He's a fast winger that actually has an eye for goal. But even that eye for goal, it has to be something. There has to be something in place. Kind of like when in Liverpool, when Milner used to cover the right part side of the fence so that Alexander Arnold can fly and go do what he's doing. It was not lacking. But once you don't have that cover, everybody started finding out, oh, Alexander Arnold is not actually a good defender. Same thing with Martinelli. He comes, he doesn't bring pull out. Please, how many pull outs have you seen as an Arsenal fan? We must see that pull out that Martinelli brought out. So this is it. You don't have cover or better improvement on Martinelli. You don't have cover or improvement for Odegaard. You don't have actually real cover for Rice because Jorginho is not that cover. I actually thought that Jorginho came to that team to instill the winning mentality in Arsenal players to get them over the line. That's what I thought his
Mm.
signing was for. I don't think his
well,
signing was
he's
purely
done a
football
fair,
reasons.
he's done a fair bit
And he's
of that.
done, yeah,
We
he's
we won't
yeah,
be talking of
he has
Arsenal
done a good job,
challenging for the EPL if we didn't
Jorginho.
also have players of caliber of that caliber.
Mm.
So
Okay, the thing is,
Fair enough.
the young players, just like Bayern, the young players that Arsenal are used have actually stepped up and shown that we are here to stay. But you Arsenal 2 seasons ago, Arsenal only had the first 11. I was scared that if Partey got injured, because he always does get injured, I was scared that if Partey gets injured, that midfield of Partey, Shaka, Perry was going to be broken up and something will happen. And what happened? Your spine, Saliba got injured, you lost the league title. 2 seasons ago, you lost the league title because Saliba got injured. Nothing else.
yeah,
That's where you stand.
very, very
Now,
sad.
coming up to this season, you actually, Arsenal cannot put out a second 11 that is going to beat Ipswich convincingly.
Okay, enough of Arsenal
Same thing.
before I start crying here. Now,
No, no,
um,
you're
just
doing
to,
better than
to,
mine. You're better
to
than mine. Don't worry.
just to keep this going and so we can get to a point. I think this would be the perfect topic to sort of close this or wrap up this episode because we've had very very good points. If I think the only thing that can top what we've had today is just if we have a challenger, someone that would oppose many of the things we say. But in terms of the point, it's been very good, and that's why I think to wrap up, we should talk about Liverpool and how they are beginning to look. Namdi has given us a very good light in the sense they started very, very well. I think with Liverpool, you can't sit down here and tell me they've not been lucky. Their opening fixtures. Do you know, I was speaking with someone again. I think actually my brother and was saying, if you look at us now, we've played Tottenham, Aston Villa, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle. We've literally played six of some of the best teams in the league. Liverpool,
Which
on the
is
other hand, same goes to Chelsea, and Chelsea has played Man City. They've played Liverpool.
Dead
But
man.
they played Man. If you look at Liverpool now, they really have had a fairly. I mean, I won't say easy per se because there's no easy fixture, but they've had a fairly easy run, and so
Favorable run. Favorable run of fixtures. Yeah.
where I'll support Namni is in the sense they've caught good form using that. We were there 2 years ago, Arsenal. They've really taken advantage of getting that form. They've opened an 8 point gap, but I don't know. I'm still waiting to see the next 7, 8 games before I make a claim onto Liverpool being genuine contenders. They are good, no doubt. They will probably be up there from the start of the season, had we started this podcast, we would have had our predictions from the start of the season. Liverpool, I knew they were going to be there. They had Klopp pretty much, and that's one of the wisest things this new coach had also done. He didn't come there to say, "Oh, I will implement my formula." Blah. Blah. He had a form. He has a system, but he knows, and he was also lucky. The players fit perfectly
Yeah.
well. He didn't come disrupting thing. He just took it humbly, unlike many coaches that have come sack all the coaches there. Do different. So I don't think I'm going to class Liverpool as a contender yet. You can hold me for my word. I'll put that
Of
on the
course.
ground now for you guys to make an argument.
I
Each person would
mean,
have their claim, and we'll wrap up on that. Mr. Namdi,
okay.
no, we'll come to Mr. Namdi because he seemed to have that very good take on Liverpool now, knowing or
Okay.
having him, giving us the fact they've really gone on a very good form. We'll start with Mr. Tunde. Tell us.
I was just going to counter what you said when you said Liverpool have had pretty easy fixtures so far. So I'm just looking at the stats.
Yep, I can
They've
tell.
played United.
United is not a
Um,
hard picture.
Relax. They played United. They played
If Beef not pass like this.
Chelsea. They played
Chelsea's
Chelsea.
Chelsea is not technically a hard picture.
Relax.
Not
They
not not
played.
not for Liverpool. No, we're not in house fixture. We,
Relax.
we were
No,
pretty much
no.
True.
not sure
Relax.
what we're doing.
Relax. They played Arsenal.
That
They
was one
played
of their hardest,
Brighton.
and they drew that.
Relax. They played Brighton as well. They played
Brighton could
Aston
have won
Villa.
that game. There was a
See,
very small glitch
see.
in
Let me
concentration.
let
Brighton
me tell
scored
you
in the
what.
first half, and Liverpool
And
scored two in two
that is the
minutes.
difference between a top team and a team.
But he just
That
scored four
glitch
teams,
will happen. Yeah. How many matches have they played this season? Chelsea
11.
have played. So out of 11, they played almost 5 teams because you are saying Chelsea is not a big team. But let Chelsea
I didn't say
play
Chelsea is not a
Arsenal.
big team. Where Chelsea were at that time, and Chelsea usually are not competition
No,
for Liverpool.
no.
We have a
See,
Chelsea
let me
fan that
tell
have
you.
seconded to it.
No, see, I'm not saying whether they are in competition or not. So if you are saying they've not played any big team, who are the big teams? The only teams they've not played is Tottenham.
Mm, Man
So who
City.
are the other big teams that we are talking about?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, they won 2-0.
They beat Aston Villa 2-0 this
Oh,
month.
really?
So at the end of the day, we can try to
Arsenal fans
pinpoint
can't believe that people
all
win. Arsenal fans can't believe that people
that
win.
is going on in Liverpool at the moment. But the project is a project that everybody should be scared of. They're already thinking of how to replace Salah. That is how big teams think. Not Arsenal that will wait until everybody dies. And then they will now say, okay, so what do we do now? Okay, let us bring one boy from our academy. The guy knows how to dance very well.
Really?
And then he will
The
dance for
future.
2 seasons. And then, so you have, if you're a big team, you have to behave like a big team. You have to behave like a big team. So, in my opinion, Liverpool is they are hitting the right notes. They've got very pretty good, decent. They are not even decent. They are very good midfielders at the moment that can easily step up. Do things, and that's why I said for you can say, oh, they were lucky against Southampton, bro. If it is easy, run out. If you think these things are easy, some of these small teams are there to just come and disrupt things, and they
Spoilers
will have
road.
their
That's
day,
their road.
they will have their days where you play them. Imagine what happened against Nottingham Forest. That game, Liverpool should have won 7-1. What happened? Luck wasn't against them. Nobody came to say, oh, they were not lucky. No, everybody just moved on. Oh, Nottingham Forest are informed. That was what everybody was saying.
But Nottingham Forest technically have been informed
Yeah, they've
before
been
Arsenal.
informed.
But even a blind man knows Arsenal was going to kill Nottingham Forest. It was obvious. It was written over the wall. See, I knew the moment I was only waiting for Odegaard to play the first game, fully fit, and then come in the next game to do what he knows how to do best. We all know he's good, and I've said it several times. He's a very good player. However, you can't always bank on one person to give you 100% at every time. You must have somebody. The reason why Man City is suffering now is, I don't know if you remember at that time when Alvarez was still at Man City, he would come in the 80th minute and
And
he
score
will just
goals.
do one magic, and he
Yeah.
will score just one fantastic
Or
goal, and then
assist.
the
Yeah.
rest will be history. And that's 3 points, bro.
Just
It's
like
three
that.
points. It's just one goal. You don't need to score. It's not until you win 7-0 or 8-0. Just 1-0. It's 3 points. It doesn't change anything. So, but that bite is not there anymore. What's his name? This guy is not stepping up. This English guy. What's his name? This young English guy that they are trying to play from the wings, but now they also want to play him as a striker. So I've forgotten his name now. When I remember his name,
Yeah.
I'll let you
Sorry, go
guys
on.
know. So,
So
but
you
that's ST
see
for me.
Liverpool as a genuine title contender.
Of course, they are not joking. They are here to stay. They know what they are doing in a team
I
that
hate
this
the
guy is
fact
unable to start. What's
I
his
hate
name?
the fact he talks so
This
calmly and
Uruguayan,
slowly.
this Uruguayan
I was going to challenge him
striker.
on that. Okay. All right, good. They're here to stay. Mr. Michel, tell me what are your takes on Liverpool? I mean, you have to also I would expect you to bring your bias in and channel your innermost hatred for Liverpool being a Manchester United fan. So let's talk on it. I suppose two of us will be on the same page this time. Wait, sorry, we can't hear you. Seems like your mic something has been
I believe that his mic has died.
right. Okay, cool. We can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. Um, let me
Did
disappoint
you
you
did you
straight
did you
away.
hear everything I said prior to your
Yes,
intro?
I did.
Your
I
intro.
did.
Cool.
I did. I
Channel
did.
that
Let me disappoint you.
deepest,
Let me disappoint you straight
darkest
away. Let me
part of
disappoint you.
hatred now.
Let me, di-
Okay.
let me disappoint you straight away. I will be quick with the disappointing.
Okay.
I am a Nigerian. I'm not an Englishman.
Okay.
This Liverpool, Manchester United hatred is something that goes back to trade wars. When I started watching football, the rivalry was
So
Henry versus Mr. What is the
cut
best
you
striker?
just to cut you short now. So you don't see Liverpool as a rival.
It is a rivalry because right now, the 20 league titles which we are holding as our own, Liverpool is there and they want to overtake us. So now, being a Man U fan, now I'm beginning to get real beef. But my options are horrible. If Liverpool does not win it, I don't want Arsenal to win it, but they have to win it, or Man City, which I don't like, will win it. So either ways, I'm not in a good place with whoever wins the league title. So Liverpool, yeah. So right now, this is the time for truth. No beef.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so
Time for
right
truth.
now, time for truth. Liverpool, because of the gap that they've opened up, and the team is good. The team actually has quality all around. They have enough in firepower. They have potential, enough potential. Let me put it there because Darwin Nunez is just potential. It's not kinetic. They have enough potential in attack. So don't see them not winning this title right now. That gap they've opened up is too much. And City is even further back. They've opened up an 8 point gap, but City is 11 points.
That's how it
So
is
actually,
actually.
they are going to win the league title. They have enough players to rotate. If
Mm.
they're not playing Gravenberch in that four, that central midfield holding defensive midfield role, they'll play
Nobody,
Watariendo there.
nobody cares. Nobody
Arsenal
cares.
does not have that
Nobody
luxury.
cares.
That is what I'm talking about. You see what
Win
I'm
a
saying?
trophy. No,
If Trent
that's the
Alexander-Arnold is
easiest
not
thing.
playing, they'll play
Just
Conor
win
Bradley there.
something.
If Robertson is not on form, they'll play the Greek scouts are there. The Greek scouts will enter, will play left back for a good team, decent team too, as a starter. The only position that they don't have enough quality to replace the starter is on the right wing, which is what's his name, Salah. But across the attack, they have enough people everywhere to cover everything. Cody Gakpo
Very good
has been
point. Actually,
hitting, has been hitting
I was
form at
gonna.
the right time.
Yeah.
Jota is there. Jota, no, he knows how to do one thing on the
Jota is
field,
still
score
there.
a goal.
Yeah, I was actually gonna challenge on what's their second team, but you really hit that on the
Right?
head. True.
So that is why these
Very
are the
good point.
things. These are the things that make and Arsenal, which is my annoyance with Arsenal. Actually, I'm actually angry that Arsenal has not done enough to be giving us the confidence that they
That
will
they
do
can
it.
win the league. Yeah.
They,
Well,
they,
it
they've not
is.
done enough. Like eating, like so that Tunde has been mentioning this thing. Everybody knew it. It was visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. Arsenal needs a striker they can count on to give them 19 league goals, 25 league goals. But no, he wants to play tiki taka, interchangeable false nine, a man that can actually drop back and act as a Sengemeng
You don't have to
attacking.
give us the expression and chill. We know
But that's how
what the
Tunde, Tunde,
the
Tunde, is that not how Kai Havertz plays? Is that not how Kai
that's
Havertz
not
plays?
how it plays. Well, I
Generational talent.
well,
You
he's
Mm,
clearly
know,
a generational talent because he can pretty much play everywhere from the front of midfield up to striker.
if he was good enough,
absolutely
if he was
fantastic
good
Okay,
enough,
player.
see, if he was good enough, we won't be mentioning this. If he was good enough as an attacker, we won't be mentioning if we need a striker.
right. Okay. Well, I don't know where if how the hatred turned into Arsenal. I asked of Liverpool, but you somehow found a way to channel it to Arsenal. In that case, I'm going to be moving to Namdi. So Namdi can give us a much more unbiased, data centric, like I said, technical, very much more
Mm-hmm.
intuitive, better off.
Now,
Um,
the concur with us, let us finish this thing.
and
Concur with us.
Yeah,
I'd expect Namdi to back whatever he says about Liverpool being genuine contenders with data. That's why I'm excited to hear what you say.
I'm
Namdi,
more
all right,
so
let's go.
so there are two things that factor um in a team to win a league title. They're either consistent from the beginning and they drop off, or they eck off it. They do enough to eck out key wins. They have the personnel for that. Or they start badly at the beginning. They create a winning formula and they go on a run. That's Man City for that before last four of their 5 league wins. Um, Liverpool have done two things differently this year from last year. Like I said earlier, they are still pressing, but they are a bit more streamlined, a bit more
Mm,
organized with their pressing, and that energy conservation and reduced incidence of injury will definitely ensure that they remain fresh down the line. Now, obviously, we should be said that quality of personnel in the second team, if you will, is also a problem that they are going to face, like Arsenal has. But yes, trust me. But
Again,
I know their second team outside. You mentioned the attackers. You didn't think of the
I was going
defenders.
to argue that too.
You
Their
you, you,
second
you
team
didn't
is
think of
not
the defenders.
particularly great, and Liverpool has not
The
gone through injuries,
injury. They
go
don't
on.
have
Sorry to
serious
cut you
injuries.
short.
Like let's say the guys that have come in from that bench that
Mm,
are really really,
mm.
and Elliot is a monster. I think that Elliot is a
I
monster
haven't forgotten about Harvey.
in explosions. Harvey Elliott is a monster in investigating our spaces, and like that is one of those tactical
Definitely.
terms that you we say, but it's actually inside is actually did it. And I think he scored against Chelsea, and I think I saw the game. I
Yes,
think it was
I
yeah,
think
he
he
scored
scored
against
against
Chelsea,
us.
and I was just like, bloody heavens, how are we supposed to do this? And so what I'm trying to say is that Liverpool they have a good run from the beginning. They have a formula that should be able to take them through to the end. And yeah, look, they are top of the table. Do it if it's what easy. So that's what I would say.
Canary,
They
but
have the formula to go all the way.
Enamdi, I'm against you on the quality in their bench, their squad depth. They have been without their first choice goalkeeper
Yes.
for quite a
If
while.
you would also
Even
notice
for
that
you,
Calvin Keller
if you
is
flip the
going. I
same
think
thing to
he's not
Arsenal,
signing a new contract in
if
Liverpool
Raya
because
gets
he believes
injured,
that it's first team quality,
they will complain.
and he's probably going to
Yeah.
sign a new
Ordinary
contract in
people
And
another
will
team.
be furious.
So
that is what I'm trying to tell you. You said that quality team is going to be a problem for now. I'm telling you that is not true. I don't believe that because when you look at Kwanzaa should be their worst central defender. So except Van Dijk and Konate together get injured at the same time, that's when you say, okay, they will have a little problem. And I call it a little because they still have enough in front of them to protect them. But
yeah,
Endo is a real defensive midfielder. Kwanzaa is
yeah,
actually good, but he's young. Joe
yeah.
Gomez is actually good as well, but not as good as Konate,
But
obviously, or
yeah,
Van Dijk.
because
If
and
Van
also
Dijk
and also
pairs,
injury problems.
if Van Dijk actually pairs with either Kwanzaa or Gomez, they are good. Van Dijk, that's why I personally believe that he would have won world's best that year that Messi went ahead of him. Whoever Van Dijk pairs with him, he makes the person better. So they have enough. The midfield, I forgot about Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, the one that even brought them up. They are not first.
Curtis Jones, that's the other person I'm thinking about. Curtis Jones.
So when you talk about squad depth, the only place where the quality is going to drop is that right field because of Salah, and just Salah is Salah. You know, hey, Jesus.
The middle, and then Salah will
Yeah.
still go to come and make that final pass still through the middle at the end of the day.
no,
Through the middle. So
I disagree. That's Ramsdale. That'll be Ramsdale. Yep.
Uh,
So prepare yourself to contest.
okay. I I think I think I think we'll definitely get an episode where we'll just open the floor for discussion, and I will probably anchor that because there's a lot of things that I don't. I if I were to argue, I will probably not live here. Zanamdi has given a very good take in the sense. I think their formula this year you can. I think, and that's one of the key things I've really taken from Anslot. He rather than he was able to modify that Klopp
Yeah,
all attack
yeah,
ultra attack formula a bit than decide. Yeah, true.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
Salah will still come score the goal from the side.
A- Against just before I wrap everything up, against all you guys have said, Arsenal really against Liverpool, Liverpool literally did not have as much. They didn't play like they were going to win us. We lost that game based on our lack of, we just we drew that game. Well, yeah,
You
I'm
still
trying to
think
hold
you
my
will win,
pain
and
right
you still
now.
think you will win the league.
Well, we'll go. We'll go. That's what we're really gonna wrap this episode on.
Arsenal
Um,
is just an
just before we
injury,
go
just
now,
one
everyone is
injury
going to
away
tell me,
from losing the next like four
give me a
games.
prediction after match day 12.
How many
Liverpool
people
winning the league.
Prediction
were
of
injured?
APL
okay.
winners, right? Liverpool
Yes.
win the league for Mr.
There's
Michel.
something.
Mr. Tunde,
No, let me tell you. Even when they've
right? Mr. Namdi,
Um interesting. Liverpool to win the league, but I would say that Arsenal and Man City will give them a fair fight.
well, I'm not
Unless
gonna
Chelsea
make it a
decides to
clean sweep.
absence.
I'm not gonna make it a clean sweep for Liverpool. I strongly believe Arsenal will come.
We,
We've seen 8 point gap in the past, and I'm not particularly scared on what will
Wait,
come from. I'm really
wasn't it
confident in
Arsenal that
Arsenal when we
lost
have
the
our
eight
team.
point gap? Wasn't it
That's
Arsenal
what
that
I'm
lost the
saying.
8 points gap?
Well,
The ones
we
that they closed
but
it on them.
Even Anslot himself in the interview he just had post match, he made certain of it. In the English league, 8 point doesn't. I mean, in the modern EPL era now, 8 point doesn't even give you that claim that you can win the league. There's so many things that can happen. Liverpool have at least two, three, four more losses before the end of this year. If you want to
and
hold it
yes,
against me,
I
you
agree with
can.
you. I agree with you. They have four more losses at least. Arsenal, how many?
Well, that's the thing. You see, I was expecting this because anyway I said it, even in gym, they say, "Oh, how many will Arsenal lose?" Arsenal at this point, we literally can win the rest of our games. It doesn't
That's
matter.
the
When
thing.
when we went 19 or 17 games straight last year, it's the same thing everybody was saying. Arsenal is
The year
just one
before,
injury. That's what I'm saying. You guys were the ones
no
saying
one.
Arsenal is just an injury from losing. Arsenal is just for the. Have you looked at the fixtures for the rest of the season? Hold on, the fixtures for the rest of the season for Arsenal. I'll call it out for you.
No, Tunde, 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 I will tell you how they did it. I'll tell you how they did it because it was 2 seasons ago. How they did it was that the first 19 games, they got the record point anyone has gotten from first 19 games, from first half of the season. 50 points or 51 points it was it not, Henry? Yeah. But what happened? That's the season that Saliba got injured and they lost. Saliba got injured and that was it. And Man City actually was playing World Club Cup. So even that 8 points gap that they had, they were games in hand. There was one game in hand. And that was the time that they actually had to reschedule Man City's game. So Man City played them twice
Two
in the
games
space
in
of
there.
2 weeks. Two games in the space of 2 weeks. It's like listen, Mr.
All right.
Henry, this is what I think. You have to take into account your competition.
You seem to have so much energy when you're talking about Arsenal. Where's this energy when we're talking about Man U? Mr. Henry, you need to,
And
you need to take into consideration.
you know
You need
why?
to
The truth of
chill.
the matter is
Allow
this.
me. I know what
Um,
I believe in.
no,
It's my club. I know we're going to. When we're talking
this
about
is
Arsenal, you just get so lighted up. Like I I,
today,
I don't know where it come
today,
from.
today.
It's like
This is the faith. This is the faith the Bible was talking about. Leaders of
Like this.
ecstasy.
I agree with what Michelle is saying. But look,
Your
I also understand
competition.
why Harry you're saying otherwise. It's not
good.
this
That
is
is
not
someone
last
is
season. This is
misunderstanding what
not
I'm
two
saying.
seasons ago. I
This is not
understand
last
exactly
season.
what
This is
you're
not two
saying.
seasons ago. But we treat we I mean we treat sports based on historical data. You can't help you can't because there's no other factor that gives you an insight into an event
The
like
factor.
sport.
The factor I have. Oh, okay.
All
Oh,
right, I'm ending it now. It's all right. We've tried. Um, it's good to have you guys. Just
Thank you
stay.
very much. It's been a
I'll catch
pleasure.
you guys. Um,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
all right.